Numbers chapter 19 and 20. Chapter 19, verse 1, let's read. And the Lord spoke unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, 2. This is the ordinance of the law which the Lord hath commanded, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, that they bring thee a red heifer without spot, wherein is no blemish, and upon which never came a yoke, which never came bondage, captivity. 3. I added that, y'all. And ye shall give her unto Eleazar the priest, that he may bring her forth without the camp, and one shall slay her before his face. 4. And Eleazar the priest shall take of her blood with his finger, and sprinkle of her blood directly before the tabernacle of the congregation 7 times, y'all. And 5 says, And one shall burn the heifer in his sight, her skin and her flesh, and her blood with her dung shall he burn. 6. Welcome to ReligionWinked TV, where my spiritual ears stay. And the priest shall take cedar wood and hyssop and scarlet, and cast it into the midst of the burning of the heifer. In the midst of the burning of the heifer. Okay. 7. Then the priest shall wash his clothes, and he shall bathe his flesh in water, and afterward he shall come into the camp, and the priest shall be unclean until the evening. 8. And he that burneth her shall wash his clothes in water, and bathe his flesh in water, and shall be unclean until the evening. 9. And a man that is clean shall gather up the ashes of the heifer, and lay them upon without the camp in a clean place, and it shall be kept for the congregation of the children of Israel for a water of separation. It is a purification for sin. Baby, I plead the water of separation on you today. In the name of Yeshua. Verse 10. And he that gathereth the ashes of the heifer shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until the evening. And it shall be unto the children of Israel, and unto the stranger that sojourneth among them, for a statute forever, y'all. 11. He that toucheth the dead body of any man shall be unclean 7 days. 12. He shall purify himself with it on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day he shall be clean. But if he purify not himself the 3rd day, then the 7th day he shall not be clean. Okay? Verse 13. Whosoever toucheth the dead body of a man that is dead, and purifieth not himself, defileth the tabernacle of the Lord. And that soul shall be cut off from Israel, because the water of separation was not sprinkled upon him. He shall be unclean, and his uncleanness is yet upon him. Verse 14, y'all. This is the law. When a man dieth in a tent, all that come into the tent, and all that is in the tent, shall be unclean 7 days. 15. And every open vessel which hath no covering bound upon it is unclean. 16. And whosoever toucheth one that is slain with a sword in the open fields, or a dead body, or a bone of a man, or a grave, shall be unclean 7 days. 17. For an unclean person they shall take off the ashes of the burnt heifer of purification for sin, and running water shall be put thereto in a vessel. 18. And the clean person shall take hyssop, and dip it in the water, and sprinkle it upon the tent, and upon all the vessels, and upon the persons that were there, and upon him that touched the bone, or one slain, or one dead, or a grave. 19. And the clean person shall sprinkle upon the unclean on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day, and on the 7th day he shall purify himself, and wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and shall be clean at evening. 20. But the man that shall be unclean, he shall not purify himself. That soul shall be cut off from among the congregation, because he hath defiled the sanctuary of the Lord. The water of separation hath not been sprinkled upon him. He is unclean. 21. And it shall be a perpetual statute unto them, that he that sprinkled the water of separation shall wash his clothes, and he that toucheth the water of separation shall be clean until evening. 22. And whatsoever the unclean person toucheth shall be unclean, and the soul that toucheth it shall be unclean until even. And that means evening, okay? 20, verse 1. Let's read. Then came the children of Israel, even the whole congregation, into the desert of Zin in the 1st month. And the people abode in Kadesh, and Miriam died there, and was buried there too. And there was no water for the congregation. I wonder why God mentioned Miriam's death. You think she kept on complaining and coming up against God and telling people that God is speaking through her like he spoke through her brother Moses? I'm just saying. 2. And there was no water for the congregation, and they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron. Always gathering themselves against some dang on body, especially the men, the real men and women of God. 3. So y'all don't come up against Paul like these people came up against the dang on Levites. 3. And the people chode with Moses and spake, saying, Would God that we have died when our brethren died before the Lord? Here we go, talking that death spirit again. They don't believe in the Passover, which is the Spirit of God going through taking the firstborn children, right? And so you plead the blood, put the over the doorpost and stuff, and then basically when that spirit come through, it passes by you, right? These people calling death upon them all the time. 4. And why have you brought up the congregation of the Lord into the wilderness, that we and our cattle should die there? You hear this? 5. And wherefore have you made us to come up out of Egypt, to bring us into this evil place? Let me just pause right here. The only evil place is their heart. Their heart is what got them in the wilderness. Their mindset is what got them in the wilderness. Their doubt and unbelief toward the Most High God is what has them in the wilderness. It is no place of seed, or of figs, or of vines, or of pomegranates. Neither is there any water to drink. 6. And Moses and Aaron went from the presence of the assembly unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and they fell upon their faces, and the glory of the Lord appeared unto them. 7. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, in verse 8, Take the rod and gather thou the assembly together. Now this is the rod of the Levites, I do believe, right? We read that in episode 363, right? Thou and Aaron and thy brother, and speak ye unto the rock before their eyes, and it shall give forth his water, and thou shalt bring forth to them water out of the rock. So thou shalt give the congregation and their beasts drink. Verse 9. And Moses took the rod from before the Lord, as he commanded him, 10. And Moses and Aaron gathered the congregation together before the rock, and he said unto them, Hear now, ye rebels, must we fetch you water out of this rock? I love my ancestors. They be talking hella junk, right? 11. And Moses lifted up his hand, and his rod he smote the rock twice, and the water came out abundantly, and the congregation drank, and their beast also. See, God don't leave nobody behind. No child, no spirit. Anybody that want to rock with God, even the beast of the fields, can do so, right? And he takes care of us, good care of us. 12. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, because ye believed me not, to sanctify me in the eyes of the children of Israel. Therefore you shall not bring this congregation into the land which I have given them. Oh, I'm going to give you some water, all right, but you ain't going to the land of milk and honey. See, if you wasn't complaining about the water, you already be over there to the land flowing with milk and honey. What's wrong with us, people? God is spelling it out for us here. Verse 13. This is the water of Maraba, because the children of Israel strove with the Lord, and he was sanctified in them. Remember, I've been telling you Moses cannot cross over into the Jordan, across the Jordan to the land flowing with milk and honey, because he did not sanctify God in the midst of the people. I'm trying to tell y'all now. Listen. 13 says, this water is Maraba, because the children of Israel strove with the Lord, and he was sanctified in them. 14. And Moses sent messengers from Kadesh unto the king of Edom. Thus saith thy brother Israel. Remember the Edomites, Esau? Hello. Even though he's not the 12 tribes, he's still related to him, right? How can you not say Esau is not Jacob's brother? At least that's what we believe in this Bible, right? Allegedly. So it goes on to say, thou knowest all the travail that hath befallen us. So he's reaching out to the Edomites now, like most people reach out to their enemies, right? 15. How our fathers went down into Egypt, and we have dwelt in Egypt a long time, and the Egyptians vexed us and our fathers. 16. And when we cried unto the Lord, he heard our voice, and sent an angel, and hath brought us forth out of Egypt. And behold, we are in Kadesh, a city in the uttermost of thy border, on the outskirts. Do you think it's a trailer trash park they living in? I'm just saying, y'all. So anyway, he talking like, hey, we are not living good right now. 17. Let us pass, I pray thee, through thy country. We will not pass through the fields or through the vineyards, neither will we drink of the water of thy wells. We will go by the king's highway. We will not turn to the right hand nor to the left until we have passed thy borders. So he's only asking the Edomites to pass through their land. 18. And Edom said unto him, thou shalt not pass by me, lest I come out against thee with a sword. Like, oh shit, we can't even go through the highway, the byways, not your vineyards, not your homes, not your pastures. We can't go on the outskirts? Okay. 19 says, and the children of Israel said unto him, we will go by the highway. Hello. Stand in your ish, people. And if I and my cattle drink of thy water, then I will pay for it. Now he's telling them, look, I just told you we're not going to drink nothing, eat nothing, bother you. But now you said no, we passing through. And if they happen to eat and drink, especially drink, I'm going to pay you for it. Let's do this, all right? You talking about you going to kill me because I want to pass by? Listen, he says, I will only, without doing anything else, go through on my feet. He's still saying, I'm going through on my feet. I'm not bothering you. If things happen to get messed with, I will pay for it, but I'm coming. Let's see what verse 20 say, y'all. Uh-oh. And he said, thou shalt not go through. And Edom came out against him with much people and with the strong hands. I love that. It's right up my alley. 21. Thus Edom refused to give Israel passage through his borders, wherefore Israel turned away from him. 22. And the children of Israel, even the whole congregation, y'all, journeyed from Kadesh and came unto Mount Hor. 23. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in Mount Hor by the coast of the land of Edom, saying, 24. Aaron shall be gathered unto his people, for he shall not enter into the land which I have given unto the children of Israel, because ye rebelled against my word at the water of Maraba. See, it wasn't enough for Moses to be complaining. Aaron had to complain too, so Aaron don't make it to the promised land either, y'all. So if Aaron and Moses don't make it, can you imagine how many people today have not made it and probably will not make it because of their murmuring and complaining and not sanctifying God in the midst of the people? 25 says, take Aaron and Eleazar his son and bring them up into Mount Hor. 26, and strip Aaron of his garments and put them upon Eleazar his son, because Aaron ain't the priest no more. I'm done with you and Aaron. You and Aaron is my man, right hand man. Y'all got us this far. You told the people all the commandments and the laws, but you and Aaron ain't ish. In my God voice, I'm just saying, you and Aaron need to go on some dang on where Moses. You, Aaron, and your sister Miriam, who just died off because she complained, and do the same thing y'all do. And y'all get the other people to complain and doubt me. Now look what we have. Right? So he said, and put them on upon Eleazar his son, and Aaron shall be gathered unto his people and shall die there. I'm trying to tell y'all. The ones that God did trust in this world have let God down, just like Moses and Aaron, y'all. These leaders that's supposed to be getting us to the promised land are back to it for the most part. They have not sanctified God. They went along with God's enemy. They went along to get along, just to belong, for the coin, for existence, to be alive, to be considered a human being, a black person, African people, and just did not sanctify God in the midst of the people. You're gonna die there. 27. And Moses did as the Lord commanded, and they went up into the Mount of Hor in the sight of all the congregation. 28. And Moses stripped Aaron of his garments. You know how humiliating and degrading and just self-loathing and hating on yourself you must feel to have been the high priest of God, only to be stripped of your garments, to die in the wilderness where you could not stop complaining, danging, and going up against God and humiliating God in front of the people, not sanctifying God. You know how humiliating that is? God, I haven't even been a high priest for the Lord, and I've been stripped of some dang on things. Lord, can you imagine being in front of all the congregation and then they see you butt naked, shameful, about to die in the place of your sin? Oh my God, that's a word for somebody. Now 28 says, and Moses stripped Aaron of his garments and put them upon Eleazar his son, to have your son reign in your stead because of your disgrace unto God. Oh, they gotta make Aaron feel some kind of way, right? And Aaron died there in the top of the mount, and Moses and Eleazar came down from the mount. And Aaron, I'd rather have died as well than to see my son walk in righteousness with God after I disgraced God. My God, in the last verse of the morning read, and when all the congregation saw that Aaron was dead, they mourned for Aaron 30 days, even all the house of Israel. Aaron was a good dude. And I don't care how good you are, up until the point you come up against God and disgrace God and murmur and complain and turn people away from God and make them to doubt God and walk in unbelief when it comes to God, you're going to go somewhere and die. And most days it's a spiritual death now. May God bless you and keep you and make his face to shine upon you. Be gracious unto you. Lift up his face and his countenance to you. And may you choose to allow his peace, his shalom, to be in you, on you, and all around you. And may God bless you if you let him. And with that being said, check me out in episode 365, y'all. Hit that notification bell after you subscribe so you're notified when I go live, upload, and or premiere some more content like this, all right? The good news, ain't that what they call it? Until they hear me teach it, right? And they'll be like, what happened? Anyway, y'all, thank you so much. Shalom. God bless you and have a great day.